Welcome back to Unlocking Academic English Vocabulary. My name is Darcy, and this is lesson 5 in our multi-part lesson series where we are looking at the structure of words. So this lesson series is intended to assist independent English learners improve their understanding of vocabulary by studying the structure of words. If you're a new viewer, you should go back and watch the older videos to get the most benefit out of this video, as we will not be reviewing previously covered information. If you feel that this material is advanced, don't be discouraged. Pause the videos as needed and rewatch as often as needed until you feel comfortable moving on. You should watch with a pen at the ready to take note of new words as you encounter them. We will be defining and discussing many kinds of new and important words. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment, send me a message. I will happily provide downloadable materials, and we can arrange for your free private one-to-one consultation to discuss your independent English learning needs. So throughout this lesson series, we're looking at prefixes, understanding the general meaning of common prefixes and how they modify the meanings of root words. Later on, we will be looking at root words in some detail. In this video, we will be looking at words with prefixes that begin with the letter E, as in embody, empower, emit, enable, engage, enlarge, enter, enterprise, entertain, evaluate, evaporate, evacuate, exceed, exchange, expect, extraordinary, extrapolate, and extraterrestrial. Now, in the last video, which was lesson 4, we learned about how the spellings of prefixes will often change to accord with the rules of spelling and pronunciation. And we will see that with the words presented in this lesson. The prefix en generally means to cause to be, in the same way as the prefix be does. So in the previous lesson, we looked at the prefix be, become, and behave, and betray. The prefix be is acting as causing the root word to mean to be, right? And if we combine en as a prefix to a word that acts as a noun or an adjective, take the word enable, for example, then it changes the function of that word to work as a verb. Able is an adjective, ability is the noun, enable is making that word function as a verb. The prefix ex, on the other hand, generally means to go out of, exit, and exceed, and excel. Exceed and excel mean to go beyond. Exit means to go out, right? And exchange means to give and receive, so to exchange money for goods. Money goes out, goods come in. So this is the meaning of the prefix ex. However, the prefix ex will change its spelling depending upon the root word. So the x will very oftentimes be dropped, leaving only the prefix e. And in certain circumstances, the spelling may change where an n or an m will be added, if needed. Now, for our purposes, we're only after noticing patterns in the constructions of words and noticing common root words. So we will be comparing the one root word with different prefixes to get a better understanding of the meaning of that root word and the meaning of different prefixes, how those prefixes modify the meaning of the root word. Now, through the passage of time, modern words have lost some of their original meaning or taken on new meanings, and spellings have been changed or simplified. So therefore, we have to learn to accept that the English language is riddled with many kinds of inconsistencies, complications, and contradictions. One more important point about the EX prefix, and this is the EX prefix that is always hyphenated. When we see the always hyphenated EX prefix, the meaning is simply former. So someone that is now no longer something that he or she once was can take on the EX prefix, as in ex-spouse, ex-soldier, and ex-convict. The always hyphenated EX prefix denotes no longer what once was, former. We also see words like e-commerce and email using the always hyphenated E prefix, e-commerce. The E is always hyphenated. In this sense, the hyphenated E prefix is one that has been added to the lexicon in the modern day, and the hyphenated E prefix is an abbreviated form of electronic. Now, after email came into popular use, however, the hyphen was dropped for the sake of convenience, and we will see that quite frequently when a new prefix is being introduced in the modern day, in the modern to modern words. When a new modern word is created and a prefix has been added to it, if it's not a commonly used word, the hyphen will be put there. But if that word becomes more and more popular, the hyphen will just naturally sort of go away over the passage of time. People will stop using the hyphen. But if it's an uncommon word, particularly like dictionary publishers will keep the hyphen in there to show that it's sort of a modern and not very commonly used word. So yeah, this is one of those inconsistencies that we see in English. E-commerce retains the hyphen because it is a word that is not as commonly used as email. Email should retain the hyphen. So pay attention not to confuse the E hyphenated or the E prefix used in this sense and the EX hyphenated prefixes in the modern sense with the older ones. So our first word here is embody. The word body as a noun simply means the whole physicality, as in flesh, bone, and blood of a person or animal. It can be used in many other senses, such as a body of work, so a physical body and a body of work. The body of a piece of writing is the main and central part of writing. Adding the prefix en allows the word to be used as a verb. As we discussed, the prefix en is often used to mean to cause to be. As in, the fine arts embody the creative and imaginative human spirit. So through the creation of fine art, a painting and a sculpture, we have given form to something that is ethereal, imaginative, right? Fine arts embody the creative and imaginative human spirit. We're able to visualize something about ourselves through the creation of art. Through the art embodies something about the human spirit. The next word is empower. The meaning of power is the ability or capacity to do something, such as physical strength or force, or social and political authority. By adding the en prefix, the noun becomes a verb to mean that power has been given over. For example, the number one benefit of technology is that it empowers people to do what they want to do. It lets people be creative. It lets people be productive. It lets people learn the things they didn't think they could learn before. And so, in a sense, it is all about potential and power. Emit means to send out. We refer to waste gases produced by industry and combustion as emissions. Compare emit with permit and remit. Used as a noun, a permit is a document that gives someone license to do something, as in a work permit or a residence permit. A remittance is a forgiveness of debt or financial incentive. The government issues tax remittances for families. Enable is our next word. Ability, the noun ability, is having power and skill and proficiency or opportunity to do something. The adjective form is able. When we add the en prefix to able, it becomes a verb, meaning to give ability, give the ability. And we use this word enable commonly in technology parlance, as in various functions can be enabled or disabled from the settings menu. So we can enable a machine or device to do something, whereas we empower someone to do something. The next word is engage. The meaning of the root word, gauge, means to make a pledge or a promise. When a couple become engaged, it means they have agreed to be married. So engage as a verb means to become involved in something, like a project or an activity. We can say that something is engaging if it is interesting, if it entertains or occupies us in some way. To become involved or want to participate. The next word is enlarge. Large is the adjective of size, and the prefix en allows that word to be used as a verb. Use the magnification tool to enlarge the image resolution on screen. Okay, now we're on to enter. Enter is its own word, and it is a verb that means to go in. This word evolved from intra, which was an adjective that meant within, intra, from the original Greek, Latin, Old English. So these prefixes, inter and intra, have the meaning of within or between. Enter and inter and intra are very similar in meaning. And we will return to the prefixes in, inter, and intra in a future lesson. But compare the internet, which is a network of computers connected worldwide, to an intranet, a network of computers that are connected internally or privately, such as a corporate intranet. So enter as a prefix works very similar to inter and intra as a prefix. Here we see the prefix enter in the word enterprise. An enterprise, in the original sense of the word, is a complex project that requires substantial effort and resources. In the modern day, an enterprise describes a mid-size to large profit-driven business. Compare a private enterprise to a state-owned enterprise. Entertain is a product or activity for the purposes of providing amusement and enjoyment. The word entertain means to put one's attention on something. So the root word, well, an entertaining idea is an interesting idea. The original meaning of the word was to be held by something. So if we look at other instances of the root word, compare entertain with maintain and retain, which all share the same root word, meaning to hold. Maintain means to keep something in good working order, whereas retain means to hold on to something temporarily, such as a retainer deposit. Therefore, we can see that entertain means to be within the hold of something. We are entertained when we are watching a play, a performance, listening to a concert of some kind, right? The performance put on by the performer holds our attention, so we can see that we are being held by. That is how that word is constructed. The next word is evaluate. The root word value can be used as a verb or a noun to denoting something of worth. So valuable belongings or valuables are things that have value. We put value into our personal possessions. When the prefix e is added, it is referring to the formal process of determining the value, the amount or condition of something. So the value of something is given by the evaluation put on it. So an expert of some kind will evaluate when you take in let's say you take in your car to sell. You want to sell your old car and exchange it for a new one. The mechanic will evaluate the condition of the car. In other words, they will put a financial value on the used car. So a medical or health evaluation is a rigorous physical test that professionals must take to prove their capabilities to perform a job. And an academic evaluation is a test or examination that is done at the beginning or end of a school term in order to assess the knowledge and skill of a student. So evaluate, to put value on something. Evaporate, vapor is a word used to describe water moisture, the water that is heated. Vapor is a word used to describe water moisture, that is, water that is heated until it is gaseous. Evaporation is the process by which water or other liquid is evaporated or vaporized. Okay, now in this next word we're looking at the word evacuate. So the root word of evacuate we see in these kinds of words here: vacant and vacancy. A vacant room or table is one that is available for reservation, and a job vacancy is an available job position. Vacuous speech means to say meaningless words without conviction, and a vacuum occurs when all water has been sucked out of a container. So we see that root word here, evacuate, means to remove or empty. A vacuum is an empty space. To evacuate means to leave, or be rescued or escape from a dangerous situation, evacuate. The prefix here, e, that we're noticing, is the derivative form of ex, meaning to go out. So to evacuate means to leave, to empty. Exceed. This word shares the same root word as succeed. To succeed means to reach a goal. To exceed is to go beyond. To say that something or someone exceeds expectations means that the task has been done over and above the normal standard. Exchange. Exchange is a transaction where each party gives and receives something. We can see the root word change clearly, which means an alteration of some kind. In a business exchange, goods and services are delivered for a certain price. In an exchange of ideas, at least two people converse in equal amounts. So there is an equal amount of give and take in an exchange. Expect. Look at the following examples here: expect, inspect, suspect, and respect. To expect means to have foreknowledge that some event will occur in the future, such as expect a traffic slowdown ahead. An inspection, such as a safety inspection, occurs when a figure of authority checks that certain rules are followed. Inspect. Suspect. A person suspected of a crime is someone who likely committed the crime because they had motive and opportunity. That is, the police are observing and investigating that person. Suspect. Finally, respect means to pay admiration towards someone. That is, children pay respect to their elders. In all instances of these words, the root word means to look. Thus, to expect means to look out or look ahead. Extra. Extraordinary. Like the prefixes enter, meaning within or inside, and inter and intra, meaning between, extra means outside. Someone of extraordinary abilities is someone who has special abilities. They can do things that others cannot. Extrapolate and interpolate. When we look at the words interpret and interpolate, they generally mean to translate or adapt. That is, the film director's interpolation of the book required that many characters and scenes had to be cut and simplified for the sake of satisfying a cinema-going audience. A change has been made to the thing already in existence. Extrapolate, by comparison, means to make a prediction and to make a calculated guess based on measurements. The extrapolated data shows that the economy may be further contracting in the coming years due to a variety of problems halting the flow of goods in the supply chain. A prediction or conclusion can be made based upon the trends that are observed from data. Extrapolate. Our last word, extraterrestrial. We see the root word terrestrial also in territory and terrain. All of these words imply the earth or land. An extraterrestrial being, therefore, is one not of this earth. Okay, let's summarize. Embody means to give a tangible or visible form to something. Empower, to give authority or ability to someone to do something. Emit is to discharge or release, as in to emit sound, light, or gas. Enable has the same meaning as empower. Engage is to participate or become involved, or to promise to be married. Enlarge, to become larger. Enter, to come or go in. Enterprise is a mid to large-sized, profit-driven business. Entertain is to put one's attention on something, often for enjoyment. Evaluate, to assess the value or worth of something. Evaporate, the process by which a liquid becomes a gas. Evacuate, to leave or be rescued from a dangerous situation, to escape. Exceed is to go beyond normal expectation. Exchange is the transaction of goods, services, or ideas. Expect is to hope for an outcome or to make a future prediction. Extraordinary, special. Extrapolate, make a calculated prediction based on data. And extraterrestrial, an otherworldly being. Coming up in future lessons, more words with prefixes beginning with the letters F, H, and I. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please, if you want to support the creation of future content, please remember to leave a like, share this video with your network, and follow this channel for more video content. I release a new video at least once per week. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.